Chelsea play tough with Bayern Munich. West Ham go for Maxi Gomez. There's plenty more English players on the way to the Bundesliga, and we have a roundup of the day's transfer news. That and more coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the One Footballers, and this is the Daily News. First up, and Callum Hudson-Odoi will not be sold this January transfer window, according to Chelsea. This despite the youngster handing in a transfer request over the weekend after scoring a fantastic goal in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, the 18-year-old has been subject to many bids over the course of the month from Bayern Munich, with the latest coming in at around £35 million. However, Chelsea have said basically they're not going to sell him. He's still got 18 months left on his contract, and they could really do with a good youngster, but they just never play him enough. Apparently in the transfer request, Callum Hudson-Odoi cited the fact that he doesn't get enough chances and doesn't play regularly enough. So surely it's simple. Chelsea, play him and you get to keep him. This does show that Odoi is open to staying in West London. He just needs more assurances over his game time. But can Bayern Munich really offer this? Now, I know at the end of the season they've got Robben and Ribery both leaving and potentially retiring. However, the same thing could go at Chelsea. Even though they do have Pedro and Willian, who are a few years younger, both of them may be leaving the club as their value is only decreasing. This means that there will be room in the squad for Callum Hudson-Odoi and new boy Christian Pulisic, who is currently still on loan at Dortmund but will be joining Chelsea in the summer. Those two linking up with Hazard and new signing Gonzalo Higuain, that could be a pretty dangerous attack for Chelsea. So my question to you guys is, what do you think Hudson-Odoi should do? He could technically both make a case for not getting enough game time at Chelsea and at Bayern Munich, but in the future there could be more promises of more games. Do you think he should stick it out with Chelsea and wait and see, or make the move to Bayern Munich and follow in the footsteps of Reiss Nelson and Jadon Sancho, who have made real good attempts at the Bundesliga? And up next, talking about a player who's going to be signing, sent back on loan and then ready for the future, and it's Celta Vigo's Maxi Gomez. Apparently West Ham are willing to pay the £43.5 million release clause in his contract to bring the Uruguayan to East London. However, this will be in the summer, as he's going to stay on loan at Celta Vigo and help them in their relegation battle. In 18 games this season, the striker scored 9 goals and provided 5 assists, and at 22 years old is looking a real player. This will probably be seen as a move to cover the eventual departure of Marko Arnautovic. Now, this January, after a bid from China came in, he said he wanted to leave. Now that he signed a new deal and earned more money, he said he wants to stay at West Ham. It's funny that, isn't it? However, despite all this, it really is only a short-term solution. In my mind, I've no doubt that come the end of the season, especially if West Ham fail in the second half of the season and have a rather disappointing finish in the league, Arnautovic will no doubt want to move on. So it's a pretty good signing for West Ham to go and get Maxi Gomez, have him playing football for the rest of the season, and then bring him in to replace Arnautovic in the summer. Now, next up, I wanted to talk quickly about the amount of English players who are going to be moving over to Germany and whether it's actually worth it. Now, as we've mentioned before, Callum Hudson-Odoi looks to be on the brink of a move to Bayern Munich. Elsewhere, the reports are saying that Spurs' Josh Onomah could be moving to Gladbach or to Hoffenheim on loan, and Rabbi Matondo, the Manchester City youngster, could be moving to Schalke for around £12 million. So if you put them alongside, as we've mentioned before, Reiss Nelson and Jadon Sancho, is moving to the Bundesliga actually worth it, or is it just because they're getting the game time and they could be good anywhere they go? Looking at all the English youngsters who have come through, once they've shown that they're good enough, they've got runs in the team and they've gone on to progress. This is obviously more prevalent at teams like Tottenham and Manchester United, where the likes of Harry Kane, Dele Alli and Marcus Rashford are all showing that they're good enough, and when given the chances, they can go on to play for their teams regularly and even the national side. So would the same thing happen with Reiss Nelson and Jadon Sancho? In my opinion, yes, absolutely. I understand why they've left. They weren't getting the chances they believed that they should be getting, so they went in a search for first-team football. But is the Bundesliga really doing their progression any better than, say, Ligue 1 would, or even La Liga? I'm not so sure. The point is they're getting regular game time, and if Sancho had stayed at Manchester City and been playing instead of Sterling or Sane, which obviously would be a big decision for Guardiola, I'm not saying it's not, I still think he'd be just as good a player, and Man City wouldn't have to pay the $100 million to potentially bring him back. Of course, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is it really the Bundesliga that's that good at developing players, or would it be anywhere as long as they're given a chance? And lastly, we come to a quick roundup of all the day's transfer news, where Arjen Robben, upon his contract expiring in the summer, is currently considering an offer to move to Tokyo to play his football. Elsewhere, Tottenham are looking at Valencia midfielder Carlos Soler to sign in the summer. The 22-year-old's been on their radar for quite a while. However, this January, it looks like Spurs are signing absolutely no one. Christian Fuchs, who can't get into the Leicester team at the moment, has been subject of a loan bid from Aston Villa. And finally, Wolves are looking to equal their transfer record by spending £18 million on Atletico Madrid fullback Johnny Otto, who is currently on loan at the Molineux side. So that's all from me for today. Make sure you let me know in the comment section down below everything on today's daily news. Will any of the transfer rumours actually happen? Will Hudson-Odoi be better off at Bayern? Will Maxi Gomez be a good signing? And do the players just need game time no matter where it is? Of course, you can also hit the like button whilst you're down there and click here or here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.